It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Today I want to talk about a rumor. It is August 31st. In a couple hours it'll be September 1st, 2017. But a rumor was swirling today in the Dave Matthews Band community that allegedly, and I have to say allegedly, people are getting reports that DMB may be playing back-to-back nights at Fenway Park in 2018. Now, the band has previously played at Fenway Park, and they had some shows there in the mid to late 2000s. And those shows were on live tracks that had the worst crowd editing ever, but we won't talk about that. They were great shows. I was not there, but listening to those shows, they were good outside of, the fake crowd noise. But again, another issue for another day for fans of DMB. So these rumors are coming back in 2018. And my opinion is, I really hope these rumors aren't true. I hate to burst people's bubbles that love going to concerts at Fenway, but to me, these baseball concerts in ballparks, which I've mentioned in previous videos, to me, overall, they are not as good as seeing an artist in an outdoor amphitheater or even an arena. And I'll give you a couple reasons why. First off, the sound. The sound is not as good for the majority of the seats when you put a stage in center field and then have speakers blasting out to 30, 40,000 people. I was at Dead & Company in 2016 at the soundboard. I was very fortunate and blessed to secure a seat there for night 2, which was less popular, so there were seats available. The soundboard seats, right, I was a couple rows in front of the soundboard, amazing. But other than that location where I was, as I walked around the venue during various parts of the show, just to kind of get a feel, the other seats in the actual grandstands and upper decks and terrace areas, the sound wasn't as good there. It just wasn't. It didn't have the feel of an amphitheater sound, because when you're in a lawn, the last part of that amphitheater, sometimes you hear the sound the best there, and that's what's unfortunate about these ballpark concerts. The sound sucks. Other thing that I don't like about these ballpark concerts are the seating options. Really, maybe 2,000 to 3,000 people, and that's being very considerate. 2,000 to 3,000 people are going to have a great view of the stage, and even so, those views are still on a flat surface on a ball field, or even in some of the first couple rows or certain select parts of the actual grandstands or kind of areas where there's actual seats for baseball. That's not a good thing to have when the majority of the fans are way too far away from the stage. That doesn't mean you're not going to get a great set list, because that happens when the Zach Browns, when the Dead & Companies come to Fenway, come to Citi Field. You get great set lists. Wrigley, too. Wrigley was dope for Dead & Company this year. But, again, you're so far away from the stage. And for fans like me, who it's not necessarily being about first row dead center, but I want to feel the presence of the band. So sometimes I like being very close, even if it's at the mid-level of a pavilion of an amphitheater like in Hartford. So I don't like how the majority of the seats, you're going to feel detached from the actual stage because you're so far away. Other thing you have to keep in mind is, let's be honest, what's going to happen when these tickets go on sale? Well, the majority of the nice seats, especially for a band as popular as Dave Matthews Band, the majority of those seats, you got to either be a scalper with bots, or you have to get a luck of the draw for the warehouse. Those nice seats, if you don't get them for face value from having connections or scooping them up and being lucky on the on sale, well, those tickets are going to go for $400, $500, which they did for Dead & Company. But Dave Matthews Band, especially in the Northeast, those tickets will easily go for $300, $400 if you can't secure them for face value. So yeah, you can get a seat in the cheap seats at face value, but you're going to be really far away, even for an intimate park like Fenway. The stage is still very far in center field for an actual show. I think, and I hope, and I really hope, if the band wants to do anything special, anything cool in 2018, if you're listening, I know Stefan's always in Twitter. He's always down in the DMs listening to fans. I would rather have this band perform more nights at amphitheaters in the Northeast. The Northeast is a big pocket for the Dave Matthews Band. You have Saratoga Springs, which always sells out. Hartford has its history of riots, having 3 nights at one point and still selling out. And honestly, I think they could do 2 shows in Hartford. Yeah, you may not get the lawn as sold out. Yeah, there's some empty spots. It's a 25,000 seat lawn, but the pavilion will always sell out. Trust me, because I've tried to look for pavilion seats, and it's hard to find them because everyone fills up those 6 to 7,000 seats in the pavilion. Same thing with Massachusetts, where Fenway Park is. Look, I know it's, Zach Brown does it every year. Dead and Company's done Fenway a bunch of times. Billy Joel, but to me, the nostalgia or the feel of being in a ballpark isn't as cool. I love baseball games there, but an actual concert, most of the seats are too far away. You got poles everywhere. It's not a good look, literally, for the majority of the fans. I would hope that if they want to do something cool for New England, skip Fenway Park, skip Yawkey Way, skip, Boston, and go to Mansfield, Massachusetts, and do 2 nights at the Xfinity Center, because that venue has about 20,000 total patrons that can get in there. So you do 2 nights at 20,000. That's about 40,000, and that's Fenway Park for one night. So I would rather have this band, if these rumors are even remotely true, if the band is trying to do something special, I'd rather have them go to the Xfinity Center and Hartford, the Xfinity Theater, respectively, more times, do more shows there, where fans have better views. Even the worst seat in a lawn section of Mansfield, Massachusetts, or Hartford, Connecticut amphitheater show is almost like some of the best seats in the actual grandstand and loge boxes and field boxes for Fenway. That's just how far away those seats are. That's just how bad some of the angles are towards the corners. Let me know what you guys think. Do you want shows at Fenway? Did you go to the Dave Matthews Band shows years back at Fenway, where they had that live tracks and had the worst sound editing of crowds being artificially put into that track? Which I don't know why people don't talk about that more. But anyway, it's a whole different thing. But definitely like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about the rumors of DMB performing at Fenway for 2 nights, allegedly. Again, allegedly. I gotta confirm it. All right, I'm out.